What's happening, everyone? Nicky Hawkins, West Ham Fan TV, and this is the morning after the game before. Now, Crystal Palace 2, West Ham 1. This is draining. This is a draining situation for West Ham. We are littered. I'm going to get straight into this as well. We are littered with players that just aren't good enough. Aren't good enough for West Ham, aren't good enough for the Premier League, anything like that. Our first 11 is okay, not great, not brilliant, but once that first 11 gets cut, we struggle massively. We've got no pace in the team, we've got no power in the team, we've got no determination, we've got no desire. And you know what, the thing is about it is, it all stems from the manager. The manager hasn't got a fucking clue what's going on. We went into that game yesterday. It was a poor game, really. Crystal Palace, I think, deserved the victory. Looking at the highlights now, just about, they just edged it. They were poor, Crystal Palace, but they were better than us. A wonderful goal by Ayew, wonderful goal. But it's a game that wasn't littered with a lot of chances, and it was just the quality of football that that stopped the chances from going. We took the lead. Robert Snodgrass. Brilliant finish, great ball by Antonio, who didn't look at his best yesterday. Slid it through to Snodgrass, who got beyond the defender, probably the first time in the whole game that he did, and he took the lead. But I've got to say, Zabaleta, now I love Zabaleta. I think when he signed for us, he would have been good for a year, just to fill in at right back. But yesterday, he looked like a rabbit caught in headlights. He didn't have a fucking Scooby what to do with Zaha. The two on the right-hand side, with Snodgrass over there as well, lacking pace, they ripped us to pieces. They tore him a new arsehole, and they was targeting him. And then you got Roberto in goal. Now, I thought that was one of... well, actually, I think it was Roberto's best game. I didn't think he'd done anything wrong. I didn't think he could have done anything about the goals. You know, people were nitpicking really when they say he went down a bit early for the second goal, but at the end of the day, if he'd have stood up longer, he'd have just slid it underneath him. He had that much time and space after he danced around three defenders. There are very few players there that can hold their head up high, and Haller was okay. He didn't do too bad, but once again, at 1-0 or 1-1, whatever it was, he is hauling him off, and sending on players to try and defend a 1-0 lead. We can't defend a 1-0 lead. The manager has not got a clue. He can't motivate them players. We don't create enough chances, and the thing is, it's not even like we can hold on to 1-0s because we can't defend either. We struggled to defend. Noble was poor yesterday, and I think he would be the first to admit it. But you can't keep on relying on Mark Noble. We haven't got enough strength in depth. Who's the replacement for Noble? Carlos Sanchez, not good enough, championship player at best. Who's the replacement for Fredericks, who is suspect himself at times? Zabaleta, championship at best. Snodgrass, losing his legs. He's got a good goal yesterday, but he hasn't got any pace to get up and down that wing. He's playing as a winger. Anderson left out again. Haller hauled off. It's mental. Lanzini come on, which was a bright spark. You know, he didn't really have enough time to do anything. The game was quite tight and in a balance. And you know what we need in that midfield? A midfielder that we've already had and scored yesterday. A midfielder like Cheku Kouyaté, who was up and down that midfield like a yo-yo. It's poor. It's poor management. It's poor running of the club. The fact that we keep on having to fucking pick up free transfers. You look at our rights and left backs over the last 10 years since these lots have been in charge. This is such an important position. You watched that Liverpool game yesterday, Liverpool versus Leicester. You got probably the world's greatest right back playing at right back for Liverpool, and he run the game from right back. He run the game. You know, that is the importance of the positions, and they're picking them up. Yeah, they buy a £45 million centre forward. He looks well and good. You don't get no service to him. It's like buying a car without the battery. You know, it looks nice, but you know, it won't run. It won't run efficiently. He needs servicing. The Zabaleta couldn't get up the line. He couldn't get up the line, and he couldn't get back. He was just standing in the middle. You see when Zaha got the ball, you see it in the highlights, how far he was away from the play is a joke. And that's not a knock on Zabaleta. Zabaleta does what he needs to do at times. But we need to go out and, you know, January's coming. January's here in a few days. If they haven't got targets lined up already and ready to come straight into the team on the 1st of January, buying them, we are running out of games now, you know. And we all said against Southampton, if he loses against Southampton, he needs to lose his job because he just can't get the best out of these players. You know, you've at least got to get the best out of what you've got, and he can't do that. He can't do that. He's got no motivation skills. The players are on their arse. They're lacking leadership. They're lacking someone, you know. I know you know, great players play the game themselves, but these guys, you know, they need someone to be dictating what they're doing on the sideline, and he just doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. He's a winner with Malaga. He's a winner with Man City. When the chips are against him, I've got no confidence in him. Now it's down to the chairman. It's down to the management of the football club, not the football team, the football club, you know, to make a decision and pull the trigger now. Because if they don't pull the trigger, we are sleepwalking into a relegation. Not a relegation fight, a relegation. We're not good enough. We could well end this year in the bottom 3, which I'm not confident we're going to win tomorrow against Leicester. Very good Leicester team. All right, they got beaten by a very good Liverpool team yesterday, but that don't mean nothing. They've gone away to places like Southampton and places like that and got good wins. We're just poor. We're just a poor football club. We haven't got any ideas. We haven't got the players to come in. We've got a very good first 11. But let's be honest, when people are talking about Fabianski, this is not our centre forward that's out. It's our goalkeeper. Even Fabianski wouldn't have saved us yesterday. This needs to be better. This needs to be a better run club. This needs to be 100 times better. And you know, I don't like to keep on doing it, but you revert to the move and all that, and you look at the fucking promises made. World-class stadium, world-class teams. Zabaleta is not world-class. He's championship class at best. Snodgrass is close to that. Sanchez, I don't even think he'd make it the fucking championship. Roberto, not even championship. Not even championship. I'm considering if I can return my season ticket to, you know, go through trading standards on the Trades Description Act. That's how fucking poor it is. That's how bad we are as a football club. They need to get their wallet out in January, otherwise they're going to be stuck. Like, they've got out of it a few times while we've been at this stadium. They've been quite lucky with Moyes and all that sort of thing. But if they if they leave this now, if they leave Pellegrini in charge, we're losing control. We're losing control more than Mikel Antonio on Christmas Day in his motor. You know, the season is slipping away from us again. It's not fair on the fans. The fans who follow them up and down the country. The fans that follow them full stop, to be quite honest with you. We need to sort this out now. We need to go and buy people in January, no matter how much it costs, because inevitably it will cost them more in the long run. Because if we go down to that championship, we'll never come back up. Not for a long time anyway. Leicester tomorrow, we'll be there. Check out all the fan cams and stuff. One thing left to say. Come on, you irons.